John Cena's final walk backstage after his last WWE match wasn't filled with the usual noise and commotion that follows a major event. Instead, as soon as he stepped behind the curtain after facing Gunther, everything slowed down. People didn't rush by or treat it like a typical night. They paused, looked at him, and lined up quietly, waiting for a chance to shake his hand or just say thank you. Wrestlers, referees, crew, all stood in what looked more like a silent procession than a locker room gathering. Some stood with their arms folded, others with hands in pockets, staring at the man who had been at the top for so many years, each knowing this was the last time they'd see Cena like this, still sweating after a match, still wearing his ring gear, still the leader. The emotion was real and raw. Cena's match against Gunther was billed as another big fight, but everyone backstage knew it was more. Gunther, who had fought his way through the tournament and earned respect from fans and peers alike, brought out the best in Cena. Cena's performance was sharp, physical, and full of feeling. The crowd was with him the entire time, chanting, screaming, and finally falling silent as the match ended. As soon as it was done, the atmosphere shifted. Cena stood for a moment in the ring, soaking in the crowd, and then headed backstage, where the Real goodbye was about to begin. Backstage wasn't crowded with noise or chaos. It was solemn, respectful, and orderly. Wrestlers who usually joked around or kept to themselves now came out quietly, waiting in line. Some hugged him for a long time, others whispered in his ear, and a few just nodded, unable to say anything at all. Referees and production staff joined in, forming a long line of people, all wanting a moment with Cena. Some wrestlers who rarely show emotion wiped away tears, and others struggled to keep their voices steady. Even the most private, guarded superstars opened up when they met Cena face-to-face that night. All over social media, photos and videos captured the moment. One of the most talked-about scenes was when Roman Reigns approached Cena. The two stood together, surrounded by other wrestlers, and exchanged a few words. There was no big speech, no stage moment, just a simple, honest exchange between two men who had led the company in different eras. Reigns put a hand on Cena's shoulder, and Cena nodded in return. Around them, some people watched in silence, while others stepped back to give him space. The meeting was powerful, not because of anything that was said, but because everyone could see what it meant. That night, other top stars like Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and Triple H also came over to acknowledge Cena. The hugs, handshakes, and quiet words were caught on camera, and soon WWE's official channels were sharing clips online. Reporters backstage noticed the small details: trembling hands, emotional hugs, people taking deep breaths to steady themselves before talking to Cena. For many of the younger wrestlers, this was their first chance to thank the man who had inspired them to get into the business. Some shared stories, some asked for advice, and a few just stood there in awe. Cena took time with each person, listening, smiling, and giving a few words of encouragement. Subscribe for more real stories from behind the scenes in WWE. The locker room that night became a place for people to pay their respects. Normally, after a show, people scatter quickly. Some to the showers, some to the trainers, others straight out the door. This time, almost everyone stayed. Veterans who had worked with Cena for years shared private jokes and memories. Newcomers stood quietly, hoping for a few seconds to speak with him. Some gave him small gifts, others just wanted a handshake. Cena made sure to look each person in the eye, thanked them, and let them know he appreciated their support. After the line had thinned out, Cena moved over to a small interview setup. He spoke briefly, thanking the fans for their years of support, and said he was grateful to have ended his career in such a meaningful way. He talked about how much he respected Gunther and how important it was to leave the business in good hands. He said the night wasn't just about saying goodbye, but about making sure the next generation had a chance to shine. He repeated that message in several short interviews throughout the night. WWE's official coverage focused on the respect shown to Cena. Footage showed the range of people coming to see him: main eventers, mid-carders, rookies, and staff. Social media exploded with posts from wrestlers sharing photos, videos, and stories about their experiences with Cena. Some described how he had helped them early in their careers. Others talked about the advice he'd given them, and a few just posted simple thank yous. The outpouring was huge, with veteran wrestlers, young stars, and even people in other companies sending messages. The company used Cena's retirement to show the world what kind of locker room they wanted to have. One built on respect, gratitude, and teamwork. They also made sure to highlight Gunther's performance, making it clear that he was the one taking the torch from Cena. The match was designed to put Gunther in the spotlight, and the way the night was presented made it clear he was the new star to watch. Other young talents on the same card, like Oba Femi, also got attention in the post-show coverage. As the night went on, people kept coming up to Cena. Some just wanted to shake his hand. Others wanted to share a story or ask for advice. Cena listened to everyone, gave hugs, and made sure to thank each person personally. Even after the cameras stopped rolling, the line of people didn't end. Trainers, referees, and production staff all came by to pay their respects. The atmosphere was still quiet, but there was a sense of pride and gratitude in the air. Roman Reigns' presence backstage was important. As the current face of the company, his reaction to Cena's retirement carried weight. The way he handled the moment, quiet, respectful, and sincere, set the tone for everyone else. There was no showboating, just genuine respect. When Reigns and Cena spoke, it felt like the closing of one era and the beginning of another. The rest of the locker room took note. The private rituals and codes of the wrestling world were on full display that night. Older wrestlers acted as mentors, sharing advice and encouragement with younger stars. Rookies listened carefully, soaking up every word. Some took the chance to ask Cena for one last bit of guidance. Others just wanted to say thank you for everything he had done. The backstage area felt more like a classroom or a family reunion than a sports event. Cena's humility stood out. He didn't make the night about himself. Instead, he focused on the people around him, his opponents, his teammates, the fans, and the staff. He made sure to thank everyone, from the top stars to the people working behind the scenes. He emphasized the importance of lifting others up and leaving the business better than he found it. The lesson wasn't lost on anyone watching. As the night wore on, more people shared their memories and feelings. Some told stories about traveling with Cena. Others remembered the first time they met him. A few just wanted to talk about the matches they had shared. The mood was emotional, but also hopeful. People knew things were changing, but there was pride in what they had accomplished together. The magnitude of Cena's retirement was felt far beyond the arena. Fans, wrestlers, and media all reacted with messages of support and gratitude. The company made sure to frame the night as a celebration of Cena's career, but also as a new beginning for the next generation. The focus was on the future, on the stars who would carry the company forward. Gunther and others were positioned as the new leaders, ready to take on the challenge. Cena's influence will be felt for years. His approach to the business, work hard, respect others, lift people up, became the example for everyone else. Younger wrestlers left that night with a blueprint for how to handle themselves, both in and out of the ring. Veterans were reminded of the importance of leadership and gratitude. The company showed the world what kind of family they wanted to be. Subscribe now for more exclusive backstage stories and major WWE updates. The last thing Cena did before leaving was thank the staff one more time. He walked out of the arena quietly, stopping to shake hands with everyone from production crew to the security guards. There were no cameras, no big speeches, just a sincere thank you. The show was over, but the story of Cena's legacy was just beginning. People will talk about that night for years to come. The respect, the emotion, the sense of family, it all came together in one unforgettable farewell. Cena's retirement was more than just an ending. It was a reminder of what makes wrestling special, the people, the passion, and the moments that bring everyone together.